everything against it.
All right, so welcome back to 2BK, Two Black Kids.
2BK.
I'm Neto.
King Nate.
So on this episode, we're gonna talk about a quick and brief episode about nature living.
Cause I just have to be a few kids beautiful, and I think that I get some so beautiful.
Nature Living is a Japanese rock band formed in 1998, I believe.
98, baby.
Yeah, and they I think they played to about like 05 or something like that. You said they did some touring around like 09.
Yeah. They did like a little bit of touring, and so yeah, they've been pretty active for a while.
Yeah. So I'm not sure they're making music anymore.
No.
But or at least, because it's hard to find, to be honest with you. They're on Spotify actually. Nature Living. If you want to look that up on Spotify, we will provide a link down below. Yeah.
It looks like the last time like they stopped was like 2010. So that goes kind of like what I was saying, because so you know, for those who don't know like what type of band they are what I would I mean, as many labels you can put on it. You can put on it alternative, you can put it indie. To me, I just consider it great J-rock. And for those who don't know what J-rock is, it's Japanese rock that is a combination of many forms of music, kind of somewhat synonymous with K-pop, but like slightly, not like
Not
I'm talking
pop.
about. Well, I'm talking about far as like its musical richness of being able to accompany like multiple genres in it to make it a distinctive sound. And so for me, that's what Nature Living does, because one song can sound alternative, one song can sound like super indie, the next one could be like really kind of like a hard rock feel. So that's what we just mean by J-rock.
To give you a general aspect of what the band is, like one of my favorite songs, the first song I heard from them actually was Delight and Sorrow, and which it featured screaming in it. So that's why I was like, I fucking love this. And it's like, it's the upbeat rock, to me, it's a talent to be able to play like rock music with screaming in it and not have a double bass, and it's just, they have a lot of quality. And the reason why we got on the subject of Nature Living was because of Shingo 2 from a previous episode. And the reason why is because I wanted to talk about like, how foreign people can learn English, and like the way that when it comes to making music, you don't want everything to be perfect. You don't want everything to follow a tempo exactly. You want everything to lag a little bit. And when it comes to like vocals, a lot of times I'll listen to vocals as another instrument. And so as they're kind of slurring their words a little bit, it's amazing. Like it adds,
gives it a feel.
It adds more substance to
vibe.
To that music, and it's just amazing. And so I can't remember the first time I heard Nature Living. I can't remember exactly when I stumbled across them.
He was actually the first one that put me on Nature Living, so just saying.
So how like, to jog my memory, when did I show you Nature Living?
Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, so during the time when I was listening to like a lot of like scene and like emo core music, whatever you want to call it, I was listening to people like The Fall of Troy, also more post-hardcore hardcore bands like Dance Gavin Dance, Amorosa, things like that. So I remember the first time that he said, "Hey man, I think based off of that vibe, because like if you listen to one of Nature Living songs, they have like this amazing guitar riff that is kind of like reminiscent of like something that aligns with like Fall of Troy, which that was like the only good song. But anyways, we'll cover that later. But yeah, so he was like, man, I got somebody that I think you'll like. And then so he showed me Nature Living, and that was the first song that he actually like ever showed me. And then from that, like just ran with it. And
kind of remember it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like it's been so long ago, so long ago.
I remember. I get sick of listening to music, like a certain type of song of music for like a period of time to where I just have to switch to a whole nother genre. And I remember being in Alaska for the first time. I worked out there, I think in 2015, and I went back to like nature living, and like I downloaded all of the songs I can download that they have. I think they have like 4 or 5 albums, and back to back, I was just listening to it, and like my favorite song was "The Light and Sorrow." And then after finding more music, especially being out there, I found Brian's Library.
Get back the feeling used to be warm. It's just my memories.
And to me, like just the timing on it, the tempo changes, like just absolutely loved it. It took me a while to understand the tempo behind it, and I was like, yo, this is a beautiful, well constructed song. And I came back and I showed them some more, and then I remember you showing me they came out with another album, or at least another single called "Feel Lonesome."
If I think carefully to feel lonesome.
And we tried our hardest and could not find a way to purchase that album. We even got to like iTunes, and we couldn't buy it because we don't understand Japanese.
Yeah.
And the whole link was just in Japanese, and we could look it up now.
And that was during the time of the Pirate Bay, so we definitely tried to hit that up and try to find it. No luck.
No luck. And now they have this Google Translate, so I'm thinking about going back and see if we can download it.
Well, in case y'all didn't know about Feel Lonesome, the way I came amongst that, I was literally at home one day, and I was listening to another one of my favorite artists. She goes simply by Utada, but she's Utada Hikaru.
Mm-hmm.
She's mostly...
Where do people know Utada Hikaru from?
Yeah, her most popular song is, well, they mostly know her from the her song Sanctuary that she did for that is one of her most well-known songs. And so there is a stripped down version on YouTube that's always getting taken down for some reason, but she did it, and it was real stripped down, and it was beautiful. And I remember talking to him about, like, I love that aesthetic of how, like, an artist, when you do it like in a live setting, like a live studio setting or something like that, it kind of feels more intimate. So I stumbled, I don't know how, I just for some reason was like laying down, and then I was like, man, I really want to listen to some Nature Living. Went to YouTube, found Feel Lonesome. I was like, oh my god, visually, like aesthetic wise, it was the same thing as kind of like what Utada did. So then I hit him up, I was like, yo, boom, check this. Yeah. And so that's been like my favorite song ever since. So
yeah, hashtag dropping gems, Nature Living, so check them guys out. Very beautiful music. It'll put you in a different type of mood, a very positive mood.
Not to cut him off, but to what he was saying originally about how we were trying to find that album, this is how serious it was. We were so determined to have their stuff physically in our hands that we went through every option. We went through the Pirate Bay. We went through, like you said, iTunes, and it just wasn't working out. We even went through some other, just putting in basic Google search, Nature Living, such and such album, online, download free. No luck. It was the first time of us like really wanting to like get a band from overseas CD in our hands. So like I said, we went through every possible option, and then I was like, yo, let's go to Chinatown in Houston, and let's try to see if we can find it. So we drove all the way to the south side to go to the Hong Kong City Mall, and there were a few places in there that sold music. However, it was more of like the Vietnamese and Korean like kind of karaoke songs, like traditional songs like that. So we didn't find any Nature Living. But the point is that we literally were inspired by great music to be able to go and find it, and because of that we were able to like tap into another another beautiful culture by being able to do that. So it's kind of also like tied to like when Nesto had freaking found his girlfriend, and how took her to Chinatown, and how when we all got a chance to go, like everybody just like loved it. And if you guys kind of want to know how much of an adventure that was, you guys should subscribe to my sister Angelica's channel. It's called Angelica with Love. We'll leave the description and the link. We'll leave the link in the description with the video. It's like super duper lit. It's super funny. You guys check it out, and it's next level. So you know the vibes.
See you next time. Since we're on the subject of rock, we wanted to get into issues. Yeah.
You guys might want to grab a chair, because we're fixing to throw some. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real.
The realist.
All
right. Hey, we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.